Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for joining today. We are so glad that you chose to spend your afternoon with us. So while you join and you're getting settled, please go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. So tell us your name, where you're joining from, either your city or your campus. Welcome. Let's see who we have here. Wonderful. Hello, Dr. Brewer. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Alex. All right. I do want to let everyone know that this call will be recorded today and it will be available on our website and our YouTube channel as well following this call. So be sure that you are on the lookout for that as well. Right. My name is Sam DeLapp, and I'm the program coordinator here at North Carolina Campus Engagement. And I have the privilege of working with the outstanding student leaders who are presenting during the Civically Engaged Student Webinar Series, which we are kicking off today. The Civically Engaged Student Webinar Series features student leaders representing colleges and universities within the NC Campus Engagement Network who are experienced and highly involved with community and civic engagement efforts on their campuses. We all know now more than ever that young leaders are needed to address these pressing issues that are facing our nation and our world. And this series highlights the students who are working to do just that by leading innovative community and civic engagement programs, projects, and initiatives. The series will take place every Wednesday in March, so we hope that you will continue to join us throughout the series. So without further ado, we are excited to get started by introducing today's speaker, Xypher Pino. Xypher is a junior at Greensboro College, majoring in biology. He was born in the Philippines. He has been working with NC Campus Engagement for the past 2 years as a student hunger ambassador in the 2023 and 2024 NC Collegiate Hunger Challenges, leading his team to a 2-year consecutive first place win that secured over $20,000 for Greensboro College's hunger and food insecurity initiatives. For the past 15 months, he has also been part of the NCCE inaugural Civic Impact Fellowship. On campus, he serves as the Vice President of the Student Government Association and the coordinator of the Pride Pantry, GC's food insecurity resource. He is also part of the Honors College working on his thesis project, serves as a biology and chemistry course tutor, is the executive editor of the GC school newspaper, and holds other involvements both on and off campus. Xypher, take it away.
Thank you so much, Sam, for that introduction. You're very kind for that. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is doing great today. Again, thank you all for being here and giving me the chance to present my wonderful project to you all. I am really excited for this opportunity and for you all to learn a little bit on one of the main things I have been doing this school year. I will share my presentation real quick before I get started. Let me see. Hopefully I did that right. And okay, awesome. So like Sam mentioned, one of the main things I'm involved in for this school year is being a part of NC Campus Engagement Civic Impact Fellowship Program. One of the main things I have to do for the civic leadership or for the Civic Impact Fellowship Program is the implementation of a fellowship project. And that is what I'm going to be talking about to you all today. And the impact that my project has made, and how even in just one school year, my project has greatly contributed to the overall improved state of civic life at Greensboro College. Before I talk about specifics regarding my project, I think it's important to talk about what exactly is the NCCE Civic Impact Fellowship Program. So the NC Civic Impact Fellowship Program is an 18-month program that empowers civic-minded student leaders from campuses across North Carolina. Fellows are nominated by the college and university president and campus leaders across the college and are nominated based on the potential to excel in civic leadership. I'm very fortunate to be part of the inaugural group alongside 5 other students, as you see here. And again, as I mentioned earlier, one of the main parts of the program is developing and implementing an impact project designed to leave a lasting positive effect on campus civic life. Improving civic life by empowering students is the title of my project. Yes, it's very basic. I could have came up with a more creative way to present my project, but the good thing about having a bland but simple title is that it does exactly what it says it does. So Through the implementation of three main components at Greensboro College, I've been able to educate the broad student community about civic engagement and provide service opportunities and platforms for leadership, all of which have supporting evidence that demonstrate its powerful impact on campus. So now, again, before we talk about specifics, why exactly this project? Why have such an in-depth project encompassing a very broad topic, in this case, improving civic engagement as a whole? Why not just focus on one specific aspect and improve on that? Well, two things. One, this opportunity I've been given, very fortunate for this. I see this as an opportunity, a once in a lifetime thing to see where I've been challenged and essentially empowered to improve something meaningful on campus in the community. I saw this situation as something to take full advantage of and give full effort to. And second, Greensboro College needs a profound project such as this one. So what you're looking at right now are graphs from a survey I sent out last spring in preparation for getting data to analyze and think about what my fellowship project needs to be about. I surveyed a total of 81 students, which is approximately 10% of the campus population, and most of the questions are from 1 through 5, with 5 being very important, very educated, etc., etc. And here's the main takeaways from the student survey that I did last spring. So now more than ever, students understand the importance of civic engagement for their future success. Furthermore, students are looking for opportunities to be involved on campus. Despite this, though, as you see in the graph on the left, many students are not civically involved currently at Greensboro College. And questions I asked on the survey was, what prevents them from being civically engaged? Obviously, as you see here, time is the main aspect, but interestingly, a lot of students actually don't know what the word civic means, and on top of that, they don't know how to be involved. So keep these statistics in mind, because especially these will come back into play once we start talking about why I did each aspect of my project. So not only did I interview students, but I also interviewed faculty and staff to see what their perspective is. And a lot of the responses of staff and faculty actually mirrored the responses that the students had. Again, faculty and staff understand that being civically engaged plays a very important role in the future of student careers. They also understand that it is very important for our campus to have a strong civic culture, as we see in this graph. And the most important thing, though, is that faculty and staff do think that GC can do a better job at providing more civic opportunities and chances to develop the civic minds of these GC students. And this quote right here actually perfectly summarizes the overall thoughts of the staff and faculty regarding civic engagement at GC. So many of our students seem to have a willingness to be involved, but a lack of knowledge as to how to go about it. Our students' minds needs to be shown how to be open through our example as faculty and staff, as well as new programs and opportunities. So this is pretty much exactly why I am doing my project. Again, students want to get involved. They are very eager to learn more than ever. Students want to explore life, learn more about themselves, and college is the perfect opportunity for that, to get that experience. And as someone whose life has honestly completely changed because of civic engagement, I want to give others that same opportunity I've been fortunately given over the past 2 years. As I mentioned, I've been part of the Winning Hunger Challenge teams for the last 2 years. I'm part of this inaugural fellowship program. I've been heavily involved with Village 401 at Greensboro College and the Pride Pantry and so much more. And throughout this whole time, I've learned so many things about myself, made so many fun and unforgettable memories, met a lot of wonderful and amazing people. And civic engagement has just truly changed my life. Being involved in a civic life, being active civically has made me realize that there's more to life than just yourself, and we are all here to help each other out and be there for one another. And it's our duty as citizens and human beings to act for the betterment of our society. And again, I just want my peers and fellow students to experience these same feelings, and I want to help create and cultivate individuals that are reasons for action and reasons for change. Hence why I did my project. So, The first main component of my fellowship project is the addition of a civic component to GCS 1100 classes. If you don't know what GCS 1100 is, it's a required course for all first-year students, and the whole purpose of the class is to expose students to resources on campus for them to be able to succeed in their college career. One of the statistics we previously covered talked about how one of the main reasons as to why people don't get involved on campus is because the lack of knowledge of what civic actually means. So again, as I was planning for my project, I saw GCS as the perfect opportunity to be able to educate a large group of students on campus, and furthermore, again, to establish that civic culture at GC. Ingrain the meaning of civic engagement early on in the college lives of these students, I saw was very important with what we're trying to do, and GCS was the perfect opportunity to do that. And to my surprise, also, again, when I was planning for my project, GCS, again, is supposed to expose everybody to resources available on campus, but it actually did not have any civic component whatsoever, or anything really that taught students about ways to get civically involved on campus. As in, and furthermore, like what exactly does civic engagement mean? Why is it important? So the whole goal of the addition of these workshops to GCS is to educate students about the meaning of civic engagement, why is it important for them to be civically engaged, and to expose students to resources that they can engage with both on and off campus. You can see pictures here from the workshops that we did, but the thing that I like most about the workshop is the interactive component of it. For each section, again, we had three sections. What is civic engagement? Why is it important? And how can you be civically engaged? There was a unique activity associated with each learning component that I think allowed the students to not only be more comfortable and enjoy the workshop, but have our message regarding civic engagement stick more with them. We had newspaper fashion shows. We had some activities related to like making plates, connecting with your plates, and a lot of fun stuff that the students really enjoyed. And this was really different from your regular lecture slash workshop, which made it stand out from other activities slash workshops associated with GCS. There's evidence as well that supports the impact that these workshops had. So the numbers here are a little off. It says here that I only surveyed about 25 students in the GCS classes, but the number is actually 91, either 91 or 92, I forget the number. But that's more than 60% of the number of students in GCS. So before the workshop, majority of people felt neutral slash had low confidence regarding civic engagement. And after going through the workshop, we see a big improvement here, with 72% of people now saying that they feel either at least somewhat confident or extremely confident about civic engagement. All in all, what this is telling me is that if we keep implementing these types of workshops in future GCS classes or even other types of classes at Greensboro College and continue to target these incoming students, educating them about civic engagement and teaching them how to get involved, over time, there will be a shift in the civic culture mindset of GC, where eventually most students at GC will become aware of what civic engagement means and hence more motivated in getting involved and exploring their civic identity. Again, I want to emphasize the importance of establishing that idea of civic engagement and the importance of it early on in students' careers, especially since we're trying to create a civic culture on campuses, civic culture at Greensboro College. So redesigning and reestablishing a community-wide civic project. This is the second component of my fellowship project. So the GCS workshops are meant to target incoming students, freshmen coming in, but this project component targets the broader student community, those who may not be in GCS and are upperclassmen. To give some context, a couple of years back, specifically before COVID happened, one of the main signature events at Greensboro College were these set of events during National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, which happens during the month of November. Students at GC and staff and faculty were all big fans of the events, with each event always receiving positive comments, great feedback, and amazing attendance. And of course, like with many things, COVID stopped the events and it never really gained enough traction to be brought back until now. As I was designing the project and thinking of ways to affect the whole student community, again, I knew that I wanted to do the GCS workshops to target incoming students and establish that civic culture early. But I also knew that I needed to do something that affects the upperclassmen, the entire student body as a whole, if I wanted to improve the overall state of civic engagement at GC. So I thought, why not create a signature event that why not create a signature event for students to remember, to always be aware of these civic opportunities, like always be on the lookout for these types of events. And also, furthermore, like better yet, instead of creating an event from scratch, why not bring a set of events that revolve around important issues, in this case, hunger and homelessness, and events that had already had a lot of great success in the past. As you see in these pictures, National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week events at GC had 3 main days. Your first day was the 24-hour famine. The 24-hour famine is an event inspired from World Vision's 30-hour famine, and this day is focused on the hunger part of the week. The goal of this event is for participants to have gained and slash or increase empathy regarding food insecure individuals by having them directly experience what it's like to be food insecure. The event was a success. We had many people participate in the famine, and even though not everyone completed the famine, our message regarding food insecurity was sent, and people got the experience. Students received the opportunity again to be involved in something bigger than themselves. The second day night out, focused on the homelessness part of the week. With this event, again, our goal was to educate, to give experience, develop the empathy of these students. And we were able to do that through a series of simulations, real life scenarios that, again, educate participants about the reality of homelessness, not only in Greensboro, but in our entire country. We had lots of scenarios planned, and almost everybody that participated expressed how much knowledgeable they became regarding the unhoused after the event, and that was really cool. And the third day differs from the first 2 days because now it's time to put direct action into the week. So again, the first two events are the education slash building empathy component of the week. But now this is the time to put our feelings into direct action. We packed a total of 40 boxes and donated a total of 1,600 items after this event, with over 70 students attending. And we donated all of our boxes, all of the materials that we collected to the Interactive Resource Center of Greensboro, which is a local resource center for the unhoused and food insecure in Greensboro. Not only did we have these events throughout the whole week as well, but we had messages and things around campus that passively educate. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Like we had big banners, small flyers everywhere. We posted a lot on our social media accounts. We painted a couple of the Pride Rock on our campus, just to promote H&H Week as a whole. And so basically, whether you attended the events or not, one way or another, you knew that it was National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. And overall, the implementation of these events, this is an amazing way to spread word regarding civic engagement throughout the whole student community. And again, provide everyone the opportunity to get involved and again, be part of something bigger than themselves. My hope is that for the next couple of years, we continue to host these events to the point where it becomes a set of signature events at GC once again and contribute to that long-term establishment of civic culture at GC. Now, the last component of my project, and we saved the best for last, this has been my really like one of my loves for this school year, the Civic Leadership Program. So again, the GCS workshops targeted your incoming students. It was meant to educate first years about civic engagement. The community-wide civic project that we just talked about is meant to give opportunity to allow everyone for the chance to get involved and be civically engaged. Now, the civic leadership program is different than the other two because it doesn't target any big group in particular. Greensboro College Civic Leadership Program is made for students who show major interest in involving themselves in an active civic life and demonstrate high potential in being a civic leader on campus. These students, who I gave the title of civic engagement ambassadors, gets the chance to develop their leadership skills and civic identity through workshops, hands-on civic engagement, and most importantly, by receiving the opportunity to create and lead their own personal civic project. This program is designed to find, create, and empower your civic leaders in your student population. And again, developing these leaders and giving them the platform to engage with and succeed is a surefire way to cultivate a civically engaged and educated student community. The Civic Leadership Program is divided into two main semesters. The fall semester is the learning phase. So there were two main workshops that ambassadors needed to participate in that taught them exactly what civic engagement is, and again, gave them pointers on how to be effective leaders on campus. But the main thing for this semester is getting the experience. So from participating at Hunger Challenge events, organizing, planning for Pride to the Polls, being involved with Neowalla, all of these events at GC, obviously hosting your GCS workshops and even helping out during National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. This was the opportunity for the ambassadors to learn and really explore where their passion in civic life lies. We targeted a lot of different types of things with these events and really put ourselves out there in things that some of us were comfortable with and in things that some of us may not be too comfortable with. Either way, the main thing here is the experience. I wanted the civic ambassadors to question, figure out who they are as a person. Where does my passion lie? Why do I care about civic engagement? Those are the main things, again, that I want them to figure out. And obviously, alongside developing those leadership skills from time management, event planning, etc., etc. The second part of the program is the spring semester, and we dubbed it as the leading phase. So fall was the opportunity to gain experience, to figure out what I like, what I don't like, to figure out what my civic identity is. Now, spring is the opportunity for you to take action, to be independent, to lead. There were three workshops that ambassadors were involved in: designing their civic projects as per request, a public speaking workshop, and the third workshop, your civic journey, we haven't done it yet, but it's a summary of their program / their term as an ambassador to again emphasize the importance of being strong civic leaders on campus. The main task of the ambassadors for the spring, though, is getting that direct experience. We have had monthly service events this semester, and these events also are not stuff that I came up with. This time around, I gave the opportunities for the ambassadors to come up with something that they want to do. Again, for the fall semester, everything was kind of laid out already, and the whole point was for them to get that guided experience to figure out what they actually want to do. But this time for the spring, now is their opportunity to lead, be independent, do the stuff that they want to do. Going back to that, for January, we had our bundle up for January service event where we pack winter clothes and items to be donated to the Interactive Resource Center of Greensboro again. For February, we had a simple but really fun roses and ribbons event where we had students create letters and tie them to roses so that they could be sent to the Guilford Healthcare Center to elderly patients over there. And we have our March and April service events coming up, and the ambassadors are like really excited and have a lot of great things and stuff to do already. We're also doing a food drive this semester at a nearby Food Line store to help out with the Pride Pantry. This one was my personal request because I still wanted to host like an event that I had influence in. But yeah, main part of the spring semester for the ambassadors is the direct experience, getting that chance to really do whatever it is that they want. And not only do the service events help with that, but also the ambassadors are required to design and implement their own personal civic project. So each ambassador is required to have that project and implement it before mid-April. And we're actually in the process of beginning to collect data for their project. We're in the process of planning on what exactly the ambassadors want to do. But whatever it is, essentially, whatever they feel like that they want to do, wherever they feel like they want to make an impact on, they have free reign on what they want to do. My job as the leader of the program is just to guide them in this process and help fine tune their project so that it can be as effective and meaningful as possible. Like I mentioned, their project has a landscape analysis component, the implementation component, and a post-event analysis component. This is an amazing way for the ambassadors to develop not only those skills necessary to become strong leaders on campus, be able to run effective events, but again, to help continue develop their civic identity and learn more about who they are. Yeah, the creation of the civic leadership program is something that I've been really proud of this year. I love the students that I've worked with. I love the students I've selected to be part of this program. And I feel like we've made really huge strides as an organization, even though we've only really been here for not even a year. There's so much more potential for the program. There's so many opportunities for improvement, and it makes me really happy that I can really just go up from here. And I'm very confident that in the next couple of years, the Civic Leadership Program will become one of the main staple organizations at Greensboro College. With the help of strong student leaders, staff support, I have no doubt in my mind that the Civic Leadership Program will be a beacon of civic engagement at the campus and will be the main catalyst in helping develop that civic culture at Greensboro College. So, now we're going to talk a little bit about future sustainability and next steps, not only for the Civic Leadership Program, but also just the project in general. So here are your main key things. Obviously, monetary support from college and grants is very important. Going back to the Civic Leadership Program, part of why we have been so successful this year is because we actually received a $10,000 grant from the All-State Foundation, and that has helped us fund a lot of our events and help us buy things to establish the Civic Leadership Program as a legitimate organization on campus. The reality is, if we really want to improve the state of civic life at GC or any college, any place, we need the money, we need the funding. Money makes things possible that otherwise would not be. Creating a second year for the program is also one of the main key things. Again, like I mentioned, there's so many more ways to improve the civic leadership program and continue to develop it into a strong, civic foundation at GC. So coming up with a second year for the program and continue to develop these ambassadors and student leaders will be great. And I've actually been in talks with one of my ambassadors who will take over or at least be a co-head for me with this civic leadership program, and we already have a lot of great things planned, and I'm super excited for that. But yeah, like I said, full-time staff support is crucial. Similar to the money aspect, having someone with experience to not only be able to guide the ambassadors, but also the people running the civic leadership program will be of big help. Having more students is also really good. Whether we're talking about more people to host the GCS workshops, more people to help out at the community-wide civic project events, or just being part of the civic leadership program, the more people that we have involved, the more people that we have in these leadership positions, explore and more people just getting the opportunity to explore more about who they are and just give them the opportunity to learn, freely explore, the easier it will be to create that civic culture, to develop civic engagement in our communities. The last 2 points, essentially, just I meant to say with that, just increasing outreach of the program, again, just to further legitimize the civic leadership program as an organization on campus and to help better understand the needs of both the student community, but also what off-campus organizations need and local problems that are happening that need attention. Reflecting specifically on each project component, here are some of the main things that I will do differently. For the GCS workshops, I think we could have done a better job in personalizing the workshop. And again, I think we did pretty okay with it, but I think changing some of the activities may be beneficial because we're trying to get these people to realize the meaning of civic engagement, but more importantly, make the students realize that being civically engaged, being involved in that civic life is something that you must do. It's very important. And in order for us to really get that message across, we need the students to be able to connect to our workshop in a more personal level. For the National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week events, I think establishing connections with both on-campus and off-campus organizations will help. I feel like if would it would have been a lot easier to host events if we had reached out for help from other organizations, but also more people would have known about the events and attendance would have been a lot better if we had connected with other entities more. For the Civic Leadership Program, again, I could go on and on about ways to improve the civic leadership program. How can we do stuff differently? But I think the main thing is definitely just putting the program's name out there early. I feel like the spring semester is really when we started to gain a lot of significant traction. So emphasizing the idea of the civic leadership program and just getting our name out there really early from the very beginning, I think helps with, again, proving our organization as a legitimate thing on campus. So now, if you have similar goals at your own campus or organization, you're trying to create a civic culture, trying to develop civic engagement at wherever place slash campus you're at. I'm very new at this and have little experience, but here are my general tips slash step by step on how to implement engagement and create a civic culture at your own campus. First step is to determine your campus needs for civic engagement. Do a landscape analysis. Determine what is the problem. What are the resources available and not available at your campus? Do people even care about civic engagement? If they don't, why not? Figure out what are the things that are working, what are the things that are not working. Before we even get to start anything, we need to first determine how much the campus needs regarding this problem of civic engagement, the lack of. Second step is to find strong and passionate student leaders. As you all might know, students run college campuses. Students are what drives these significant changes. Students are the forces of action. Find students who are passionate about civic engagement and are willing to put in the work to help improve their student community. Third step, and arguably the most important step, is provide opportunity. Opportunity is life-changing. Experience is life-changing. Finding the students who care and have that potential is one thing, but giving them the platforms to engage with and freely explore who they are as people is the most important thing when creating that civic culture. And again, this is why I love the civic leadership program so much, because it's the perfect opportunity for students to succeed, flourish, and learn. Again, going back or bouncing off of that, empower your students, showcase them, keep your students motivated, brag about them, showcase them, show them off, speak highly of them. I love my ambassadors. I speak about them every day. I feel like they see me as someone who just gives them work, but in reality, I love them all, and I'm really proud of who they've become as persons, and I'm really glad to have given them the opportunity to just really succeed and put themselves out there. Our world today thrives, unfortunately, on negativity, and rarely I feel like do we give the credit that people deserve. Keeping your leaders happy by continuing to empower them and showing them the love that they deserve is very important when you're trying to think of long-term sustainability, long-term ways to keep that civic culture sustained for the long run. Um, Again, funding is very important. That's just the reality of the world that we live in. We need to invest in these types of things if we want to actually make change, create that culture. We need money to be able to do things. And lastly, keeping again that long-term sustainability in mind, having relationships both on and off campus, whether we're talking about specific individuals or people in power or specific organizations, is very important when we're trying to figure out ways to legitimize whatever program or project it is that you're trying to create. But yeah, that brings us to the end of the PowerPoint. I really appreciate everyone today for listening. If you're going to take away anything from this presentation, here are my main three things for you. Students are very eager to learn. The need for civic engagement increases as days pass, and create the platforms, provide your opportunities, and you will see growth happen. Again, thank you for this opportunity and listening to me talk. I really appreciate everyone's time. This was really great. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I will drop my email in the chat. But yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Xypher. Yes, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. Also, definitely feel free to come off of mute and ask Xypher any questions that you may have. Xypher, while people are thinking about their questions and putting them in the chat, I just want to say thank you for sharing your experience and your process with us. It's just amazing to see how students at GC really had this willingness to be involved, but had this really deep desire at the same time to have more structure and preparation to be able to do so in a way that's meaningful, and that you're able to secure that and make that happen by starting educating them really early on and then bringing in the full community. And then on top of that, institutionalizing the civic involvement in a way that really empowered students to explore, while you on the other end of that were celebrating their success along the way. So really great work. Does anyone have any questions for Xypher?
Yeah, I got one.
Sure.
So, Xypher, what has been the most gratifying part of this? I know that you've been a part of not just this Civic Engage, but other leadership roles as well. Your greatest sort of, what do you take away from your experience doing all these wonderful things?
Yeah, I think the best part about my fellowship project, my impact project that I've done for this school year is really just seeing other people kind of get showcased, seeing other people get that opportunity. Because again, my life has completely changed because of these opportunities that have been given to me. And I wanted other people to experience that same thing, and seeing the civic leadership program ambassadors develop as leaders and really put themselves out there has been really, really great. Again, of course, I can talk about leadership skills that I've developed, et cetera, et cetera. But it's just really satisfying seeing how there's so many passionate student leaders on our campus, and just so many students wanting to do more, wanting to be part of something bigger than themselves, and being able to give them that opportunity and help them throughout that process of finding who they are. It's just, that's, I think, is the best feeling. It just makes me really happy when I think about my civic engagement ambassadors, from where they started to where they are now. Because just simply because I've given them the opportunity. And sure, like, you could say that I helped them cultivate this skill, whatever, whatever, but it's that opportunity and their willingness to just keep on improving and learning more about themselves and being a part of, again, something bigger than themselves. Is really just really grateful to see. So yeah.
Wonderful. Any other questions for Xypher?
I have a question for you. Did you have certain resources that you didn't know you needed until you were in the project, or were there things you figured out along the way? And what was that?
Yeah, resources throughout the project. I feel like I'm very fortunate to have like such great support around me and around this project. And I feel like every time that I feel like I did need something, I reached out to, whether it's you or Sam or whoever else, or Shay, whoever else. Like, I feel like I can't think of any specific resources right now, but I am grateful for the support that I do have, because I feel like if I didn't know something or wasn't aware of a certain thing or were needing certain stuff, um, I was able to simply ask a question to my support and just help them and they were able to help me guide me in the right direction. For talking about specific resources, I mean, again, the money is a great thing. The All-State $10,000 grant was amazing, and that really helped propel the civic leadership program into what it is now. But yeah,
I have a
Awesome.
question.
yes.
First of all, this is so wonderful. I'm so proud of you and all the great work that you've done. Tell me what you've learned about yourself.
Yeah, I hate those types of questions because it's like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. What I learned about myself in this program, or just over the past year, I don't know. I've always just really thought that I've always been saying, ever since I was younger, thanks to my parents, that I want to dedicate my life in service of others. I want to dedicate my life in towards helping other people in one way or another. And only until this year or the past 2 years have I really been 100% sure that that is what I want my future to be. Because of this opportunity, because of these experiences that I've received, I've learned that that is exactly what I want my future career to be in service of other people, to be dedicated, to dedicate all my time and effort into just helping out my community and helping other people, whether in developing little things, helping them with little things, or even broader societal goals such as civic engagement. That's the main thing that I've really gotten over the past year is just learning that this learning about who I am as a person, what my identity really is. And yeah, it's just been really, like I said, like life changing. It's been really eye-opening, this experience I've gotten, and that's why I want other people to experience the same thing because this has really changed me. So
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
thank you.
And Xypher, we got a question in the chat as well from Lily. Lily said, you mentioned that you incorporated a civic engagement module into the GCS course. Did you notice any changes in students' behavior and attitudes regarding being involved? And do you plan on repeating the survey you conducted a year ago to recheck the effectiveness of your civic engagement initiative?
Yeah, so for the GCS workshops, if we're just talking about from the start of the workshop to the end of the workshop, obviously the students at first were a little hesitant in hesitant slash like well yeah hesitant in really listening slash like participating in the activities, but I think what made them like what helped them to open up a little bit more is having the interactive activities and really getting to connect with them in a more personal level and having fun and interactive activities for them to for them to do. And also in terms of just talking about like after the workshop, the survey that we had says that it has made an impact. I feel like if we keep on doing the workshops for the next couple of years, you'll see more evidence of that the survey that we did, more evidence, but also just like in terms of events and getting more volunteers in Pride Pantry or whatever organization. But definitely, I do plan on bringing back the GCS workshops for next year. Maybe incorporating some different type of question in this survey. Because I had, I think, about 3, 4 questions on there. But the main thing was before the workshop, how did you feel about civic engagement? After the workshop, how do you feel about civic engagement now? And seeing that percentage jump, is really good proof that the workshop did help. But I don't know if that answered your question. I don't know if she had any other parts with her question, but yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I think part 2 is, do you plan on repeating the survey that you conducted a year ago to recheck?
Yes, yes. So I the survey that I talked about in the beginning that we talked about the students' perspective, the faculty and staff perspective. I do plan on sending that survey out again this year, at the sometime either March, most likely. But I'll be really interested to see if just overall, even in just 1 year, will there be improvement? Will we see improvement? Because I'm planning to ask the same questions where at the beginning, before this project, we asked, okay, how confident do you feel about civic engagement? How confident do you feel about the resources available, et cetera, et cetera? I'm interested to see if we will see improvement on that. And I think that would be really great evidence if we do see improvement or not. I feel like that would be really great evidence to see, okay, where can we improve on the project on certain aspects? What else can we do? And also, if we do get evidence that, yeah, we see this jump in the overall education about civic engagement, etc., it's more motivation for us to just keep on going for the next couple of years. But yes, I definitely plan on doing that again because I feel like it's going to be very valuable information. So
Thanks, Cypher. And we have another question in the chat. What advice would you give to students who are worried and concerned about their time?
yes, yes, that's a very good question because especially last semester, I really struggled with balancing academics and all the extracurricular activities that I was involved in. Um, I don't know if I'm the right person to really give advice for time management slash like just figuring out that balance. I would say I think, I don't know if this answers your question directly if you're looking for specific tips, but I think the main thing that helps me with being able to do a lot of things on campus is just almost all of the things I'm involved in are stuff that I genuinely enjoy. And if you find things that you really enjoy, that you really have fun with, it becomes less, the things that you do becomes less of like, feels like work, but more so just stuff that you do for fun, stuff that you do just to enjoy. And whenever I do anything for the civic leadership program, or if we go outside of this, the collegian, the school newspaper, or anything else, everything that I'm involved with, I really have fun with. And it doesn't become too hard for me to at least manage my time and do like a lot of things. Again, I can give you specific tips like being organized, et cetera, et cetera. But I think the main thing I would say is just find things that you enjoy, and you'll see that not only does time fly by when you do these activities, it doesn't feel like work, and it just feels like something that you do because you enjoy it, something you do to fulfill yourself. So yeah.
Excellent advice. Thank you, Xypher. Do we have any more questions?
I would like to say, just this week, I've had at least two students talk to me about wanting to be involved who haven't ever been involved before. And I think it's because of this program and the work you're doing that has spurred other students to want to give back and to serve. So, great work.
Absolutely agreed. So if there are any questions, feel free to add them to the chat. I'm also going to add my email in the chat if you'd like to get connected with Xypher offline. I'm happy to connect you as well, Xypher. If you would like to add your email address, feel free to do so. But thank you very much, Xypher, for again sharing about this impactful project that you've had. It's students like you, it's leaders like you who our world needs so much more of. And so thank you for giving us our daily dose of inspiration and for leaving us with some really valuable tips about how we can help students exactly like yourself become civic leaders who are passionate and enthusiastic and bring others along with them to do this work. So thank you. Thank you to all who joined today. Be on the lookout for the recording of this conversation, which will be available on our YouTube channel and our website. And we hope that we will see you in future installments of the Civically Engaged Student Webinar Series. So thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you.
Thank you, everyone.